Hi, it's Sakina of My Brown Sparkles, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My Brown Sparkles is all about inspiring women to live their most luxurious life in the most sustainable way. In today's video, I just want to talk to you guys briefly about a lesson that I'm just learned and kind of think I'm still on the tail end of this lesson, but it's a really important one because if you are a follower of Christ and you are trying to build your relationship with God, then you're going to have to learn this thing. And it's a difficult lesson to learn, mainly because it is in direct opposition to the capitalist society that we live in here in America. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm out here in beautiful Mother Nature. I just finished doing some photos for a blog post that I am actually going to be finishing up later today or possibly tomorrow. And I'll link that blog post below if you're interested in reading that blog post. But it's promoting a product that it's a health food product, and they wanted to sponsor a post. And so I'm writing a blog post that's going to be sharing some of the things I did at the very beginning of this year to kind of help reboot my digestive system, reboot my energy, regain discipline, control over my diet, just my habits, spending habits. Like, it was really all encompassing. And I'm going to share those things in the blog post. And so, yeah, the sponsor is going to be featured within the blog post. So if you're interested in reading that, it'll be down below in the description box. But today's video is all about the lesson of going against selfish ambition. So recently, there have been some changes at my job, and I mean, this has been a roller coaster situation. And I know without a doubt that this entire job, the job that God has me in, is entirely a job meant to teach me some lessons that I hadn't, I guess, mastered. And not so much getting me to the goal. I mean, it's helping me get to my financial goals and the goals that I have for my life. But specifically, there's a lot of things that are happening in this specific job that I'm like, okay, hold up. This is just too strange. It's too weird. And I'm starting to feel like it's all an illusion. It is all an illusion after all. But I'm telling you all this as a backstory to kind of lead up to where we are now. And basically, there's just been some changes and so many changes. You know, one thing was going to happen and then it changes, and something else is going to happen and then never makes it to that finish line. And it's just like, what is happening, right? So we finally are there, but this is a sudden change. This change that has recently came upon us in the last week. The other changes we had months to prepare for, and then they never ever manifested, which is crazy because we've all been on edge for pretty much a year. And you know what? You have a carrot dangling in front of you, and when I see a pattern, it wakes me up. It clues me in that something's not right. Okay, guys, so I had to change areas because it started getting loud. Had a car pull up and just kept their engine running, never got out their car. Then we have the people at the park cutting the grass, so it just got a little loud. So I'm gonna have to do these videos over. Oh, and my lavalier turned off somehow in the middle of the video, so gotta start over, or start from where I was. So I kind of gave y'all a background of like what the situation was. And selfish ambition. So selfish ambition is the impediment to peacemaking that is mentioned in James in the Bible. The specific chapter and verses would be James 3:16 through 4:11. If you read those passages, you will see what God has to say about selfish ambition. And that is how I kind of determined what choice to make. So as a normal person would, you would look at things as, weighing the pros and the cons, right? That is how the old me would have made a decision, looking at everything in black and white. This is the list of things. This is the pros and the cons. Well, that's what I was going to do. And in the middle of doing that, I had some huge energetic blockages just from making those decisions alone. And I prayed about it and I prayed about it because I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. I hadn't made a decision yet. So I prayed about it. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, or even recently, I just recently released a video or some videos about my spiritual gift of clairaudience. And I don't really want to get too deep into what clairaudience is, but just a quick, brief description or definition of clairaudience is when you hear things, whether they're not things that are, typically they're not things that can be heard by everyone else. Usually they're thoughts or downloads or voices in your head. And that is something that I have. It typically happens during my sleep state. So during the night, I will get several messages. Sometimes I'll get tons of messages. They are not always from God. That is the thing. I think from listening to what they are saying, a lot of times I think they are the thoughts of other people. I honestly think they're the thoughts of other people, situations, and it's almost like I can tune into what other people are saying about me, feeling about me. This is just what my perception is. And what I've had to learn with this gift is how to discern what is from God, what is from the enemy, what is just noise. And so one way that I do this is I've decided the only way I can know for sure that is from God is that I can test it with the word. I've heard a lot of other prophetic voices talk about this. And what that means is to test the word, meaning, is it in the Bible? Is it given to us as something to do or like as advice from the Bible? That is how I test the spirits, as they say. When I hear those voices, I'm always testing them to see, is this God's voice? Is this what he says in his word? And I don't think God is saying like, don't make sure that you're taken care of. But if you're only doing it because you're trying to make more money, or you're only doing it because you're trying to get to the next level, then that would be considered selfish ambition. And obviously that is what God was trying to show me. Even though it looks great, sounds great, I have to take it back to God. And God has told me that the way that I was doing it is considered selfish. And so I am going to trust God. As always, I'm not fearful. There's no fear involved. I just have to move forward and trust that everything is going to work out for my greater good. And I do believe that it will. So I encourage you, if you're a believer, if you're a follower of Christ, to really meditate on that verse. Go read that verse in James 3:16 and really meditate on that and think about in your life, when you make decisions, are you only looking at what you can gain from the situation? Are you considering everyone that you're tied to, that you're connected to in that? And try using this method when you're trying to make a decision. Take it all, but give it back to God. You know, I'd say the biggest lesson I've learned whenever, and this has been happening a ton in my life, is when I come to a crossroad and I have to make a decision, and this happens like all the time when I have to make a decision, keep taking it back to God. Take it back to God, because I don't want to lean on my own understanding, because I've been programmed by the system and I'm trying to deprogram myself. And I think that's what God is trying to help me do by bringing these situations to me. So I give it back to God and I wait for God to confirm it to me in his word. So a lot of people say, be still. I think that would be a example of be still and wait until you hear clearly from God. It's hard, especially when you're in a deadline and you have to make a decision fast. I encourage you to be still, give it to God. Don't you try to make a decision, but you give it to God and wait for confirmation. Like I said, my way of confirmation, it has to come from the Bible. It has to be some scripture, something that can be found in the Bible to back up the decision that I'm about to make. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give a thumbs up, because I'll continue to create more videos like this that can help guide you in making decisions in your life or just developing your relationship with God. And also, if you're interested in reading my new blog post, ew, it's a fly. Fly. If you're interested in reading my new blog post, I will link that down in the description box below so that you can check it out. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.